to Our Issues Milwaukee. I'm your host, Andrea Williams. Our focus today has been on urban farming, and some urban farms are built exclusively for education, training, or reentry programs, while many others are built to improve food access in a specific community. Well, my next guest is Lee Ellis, who is the founder of We Got This. He took the concept of community gardening to organize a program for the youth in his community, and he's here to give us an update as the We Got This initiative continues to grow. Hi, Andre.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. Always good to see you.
It's always good to be seen.
And of course, you've been on the show several times.
Yes.
So like I said, we are excited to get an update of where things are going as summer is right around the corner. You guys have been busy cleaning up the garden, getting it ready. So tell us what you've got in store for this year.
Wow, we're just really, really excited. This is our sixth season and our fifth year. In December, we will complete our sixth year. Very excited. Number one for me is 30, 40 years of my life training for theater. Didn't know that the last or the next 6 years after that I would fall in love with something else. I've absolutely fallen in love with community garden. We've grown from just the leasing the lot of land that we have on 9th Street. We now own it.
Wow.
We also own another piece of land across the street that we're going to turn into on May 18th, where we will dedicate our memorial fruit tree orchard. We lost about 5 young men last year to violent situations, and so we have a tree planted for each of them. But we also have one living legend, Miss Argery Smith, who is a 90-year-old woman with dementia who likes to come to the garden because she's befriended my grandson Peanut, and when she comes, he likes to read to her and do video games. It's just very comforting. So we're excited about that fruit orchard. The other thing is the many programs that we've developed. And
Yeah.
I don't know if you want me to say it all
Well,
right now as
we'll
we
talk about
Okay.
that as we go on, but it really is amazing to see 6 years have already come and gone just like that. And for those people who are not familiar with the garden, which is right around your neighborhood at 9th and Ring,
Correct.
kind of give them in a nutshell how it all got started.
Okay, June 2014, a mother frantically knocked on my door about 3:30 p.m. in the afternoon, and she was screaming about the police taking her 11-year-old son to jail for doing some things. So quickly, and to make a short version of it, I asked where was his father. And she said, I don't know, just out of frustration. I said, okay, well, we got this. I'm on my way out. I came out, went over to 5th District, talked to the liaison officer there. He got, and I told him that I was going to be working with the young man in the garden. I kind of created that right sitting there, thank God. And I told him what we were going to do. He got excited about it. He asked me, well, what's the name of your program? I didn't know. And I said, well, We Got This. And that's how it started. Worked with that young man on Saturday. By the end of that summer, 100 young men were coming to the garden by 8 o'clock, working till 12 for $5 an hour, received $20. But what was unique is that they got paid by the community, people that are like your listeners that are watching, your viewers, that would come by 12 o'clock and drop off $20 to pay a young man. And can I tell you, Andrea, that it has been in 5 years, we've never had a Saturday where we didn't raise the money. The people of Milwaukee and abroad didn't come through, and we so much appreciate that.
And we don't want them to stop
No, we
because
don't.
rolling right into the season. And a wise man once said, growing your own food is like printing your own money. Would you agree with that?
I would do that. It's your ticket to success, not only for health, but in wealth as well. I do agree.
Yeah. So for those people who look at the term "We Got This," I think it's self-explanatory, but it really does lean on self-reliance, right?
It does, and we is me upside down any way you look at it. So, so it includes you, and the important part was that the people on the ground, on the bottom over there, didn't feel like they were supposed to dig in the soil, that they were supposed to create for themselves. They felt like they were supposed to only get through programs that give to them Quest and W-2 and things like that. And when I started pushing and preaching in the streets that we have to have self-reliance. We got this. We can create a scene that people will want to come and see. I'm from theater, y'all.
That's right. You were just in driving Miss Daisy. I was so excited to see that you are still doing your first love, though.
Can I just throw in that I'm nominated for the Best Lead Performer in a Non-Professional Play through the Footlights Award coming up, so go on and vote, y'all.
Keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah,
I love it. So here we are looking at a fact that urban farms contribute to the improved health of communities in many ways. One would be job creation, and you just mentioned that it's the community that comes through and pays the young men who are working in the garden. But also I've mentioned that really the community gardening makes a difference when it comes to the health of individuals who are right there in the community. I mean, it even helped change the scope of your health, right?
I am diabetic. I live with congestive heart failure and high blood pressure. And I can tell you that since starting the garden project, the high blood pressure has come down to almost normal, to the point that I may even be coming off of the medication that I take. The diabetes numbers are on track, and we're doing everything we can, but also the neighborhood got healthier. We used to be the #2 highest crime block in the city when you would look at the police portal, and it was one of the young men in the program that pointed that out to me. The first year he said, we're always like 1 or 2 in the top. We're no longer on the list, and they list the top 50. So
I love that, and it's really like I don't know if you give yourself the credit of really having an S on your chest, because you're like really a community superhero to realize that there are so many young men who need examples of what they can do, and that they don't have to necessarily be defined by a statistic or whatever the case may be. And so to have them look up to you and so many other people that you've drawn to the garden, it just really does make a difference. They take pride in even cleaning up the neighborhood,
It's the first thing we do on Saturdays. We clean up. If you go over there right now in our little area, the streets are clean. It look like any good city, suburban street that you love to go down right now. But I'll tell you, if you have 100 little black boys between 12 and 16 years old who have gotten to that garden by 8 o'clock on a Saturday, and they have to be on time. 8:00.1 is late, not 8:01. When I shut the gate, no matter excuse. But I ask with 100 boys, how many of you don't know your dad? 90 of them raised their hand. I said, how many of you know your dad but still don't have a relationship? 5 more raised their hand. And out of that, only 5 out of 100 knew their dad and possibly had a relationship. It was at that moment that I decided superhero is sort of a good term, but I said, I'm not your birth dad. I'm your earth dad. And that's what I am.
Yes, indeed.
I'm pops to many of them.
And so, I know you said that you never really envisioned yourself being in a garden, but this lot was not far from your home, and it was just there. So when did the light bulb go off to say, I'm getting ready to do something with this right here, right now?
The first week I moved there, I went out of the house across the street to the corner store, and when I came back in the house, I might have been living there 3 days, 6 gunshots rang out behind me. They were so vivid that I thought someone was shooting at me. I'm thinking, is this the welcoming committee? Telling me they didn't want me there. So when I saw the young man laying in the streets, dead, and how long it took, there was a vacant lot next to the house we were living in, and I asked the people, what was this? There were 2 tattered raised beds and compost bins. I can call it that now because I know, but I didn't at that point. And a little girl put her hands on her hips and shook her head and said, it's supposed to be a garden, but nobody never grow nothing in it. And I said, well, we're going to change that. And we started meeting in the garden to change the statistics.
Yes, so once school is out, not only are the kids working in the garden, but you have free tutoring that's offered during the week, and then also you have mentors who come. I think everybody, every elected official, everybody's been to your garden because they recognize all the positivity that's coming from that. So what are your plans for this summer?
This summer we definitely plan to focus on the mentorship Those 90 boys that I told you that didn't have a dad, it'd be great if we could get men to come in and work right beside them, and women too. You know, and whereas people need to know what started out being a program just for the boys have now become a community, a neighborhood program. So mothers, fathers, sister, brothers, auntie, grandpas, and grandmothers, they all come down. We're gonna have Wednesday reading because that's real important. If you can't read, you can't succeed. We're gonna have Monday math because if you can't count, you won't know the amount. You know what I mean? And so we're going to be doing both of those things in the garden so that they can know that you may never make it out of here, because we have people thinking that you got to move away from here to do better. Why not move and make it better right where you live?
Absolutely. And this is all helping with the summer slide, so to speak, to just kind of keep the kids' brains working on all the things that they learned during the school year. And I think what you're doing is amazing. Now, one of the things that I think is one of the most inspiring that I've seen specifically through this program is your 500 tuxedos, when all of those young men were in tuxedos with mentors and really taken the steps into what it means to be a man, right?
That's right. Well, now we're becoming a 501c3.
Okay.
There's a board of directors. It's not only me, and I'm excited about having that help. And I think people are going to see now when they come and see more people on the microphone, more people at the gate, that it's not just me. So last year, because the board came in, we didn't do the 500 black tuxedos because I wanted them to feel it fresh. So we're bringing it back this year in December, and I'm really, really excited about putting those boys in suits because they came up with the slogan from boys in the hood to gentlemen on the town. They're in tuxedo.
I love that. So we're going to have to put up some pictures so everybody at home can take a look at that. And you know, the zip code 53206, it's been spotlighted, being called one of the most incarcerated zip codes in America due to the fact that there are hundreds of men from the zip code who are in prison or have records. But you and others have worked really hard to really change the narrative and remind us all that no one is defined by a zip code, right?
That's correct. The zip code, because now that the things are going well, what I've noticed is in June, the same year that we started, We Got This, was the year that they put out the statistic that said 53206 was the worst zip code in America to raise a black child. But what I've noticed is the decline in hearing that. I don't hear that much anymore, other than us that live around there having attached ourselves to it. But in the news and things like that, they don't say it. And I think it's because they see that on Saturdays, right over there, all different colored people, all kinds of people from all over. We have politicians, teachers, and families that visit the city because they just want to come on a Saturday and be a part of it. And what's happening is all the great work that all of the great people in our city are doing is changing the statistics. So I think you all need to do some more studies.
It's true. And that's what it means to change the narrative. That's exactly what it means. And so many people are coming from all over because you have made national headlines in doing what you're doing. And we're just so proud to have you be a part of Milwaukee's community and help change the narrative. So you don't just talk about it, you are all about it. And those young men are true examples as to really what can happen when someone takes the time to realize that they are great.
Yep, and I would say to you that if it wasn't for opportunities like this, to be able to come and speak about what we do on television and other places, who would learn about our issues?
Well, thank you so much. It's just good to know that you got this. Okay? You take care, and thank you for stopping by. I love you as well. Andrea Lee Ellis is the founder of We Got This Community Initiative and Garden. You can find out more about them at wegotThisMKE.com. And that is going to do it for today's show. I'm your host, Andrea Williams. As always, I thank you for watching, and I hope you join us again next week as we take another look at our issues, Milwaukee. Have a great day.